knows what it's like to break a piece of your favorite jewelry. And we all have a little stash of those pieces at home that we look at every once in a while and think, one day I'll ask someone to fix it. Now the problem that we find people generally have is they don't know where to go. Most things are not made in-house at jewelry stores anymore. But when you come to a place like Jewel Envy, where we're a fully equipped studio, because we make everything in-house, we can also fix everything in-house. So I'm going to talk about a few very common repairs that we do and sort of that process. With this piece, this ring needs to be sized up. So that means that we are going to cut a line here and add in a new piece of gold to make this into the ring size that will fit the customer. Another really important thing that I'm going to do with this one is retip all of the diamonds. All of the prongs holding each of the diamonds are very thin at this point. This is an heirloom piece, been passed down through a couple generations. And if this customer would like to enjoy this piece on her hand instead of just having it sit in a jewelry box, we want to make sure that those diamonds are secure. So I'll be adding a little piece of gold to each and every prong. So this will be a very time-consuming repair. Another common repair that we do, and it's not even really a repair, it's just a refresh of the piece. So this is also an heirloom piece, this set of earrings. They're quite lovely, but they look very discolored behind the stones. So what happens is dirt and grime build up over time, and it's really important that these pieces get professionally cleaned every once in a while, because while we're cleaning, we will also be checking to make sure that all of the settings are secure so that this customer doesn't wear the earrings one day and then come home and sadly find that she's missing a stone. With these older pieces, they're different cuts of gemstones. So these diamonds are mine cut, which is a little bit harder to replace if you lose one. And these small cuts of rubies, it's also hard to get the same quality and the same cut from an older piece when you're trying to refurbish it. So it's better to save and secure what's here than try to replace later. Another repair that we do quite often is fix the ends of chains. So this piece has lost a jump ring. One of the most common units in a piece of jewelry are the little rings that hold things together. So in this case, it probably wasn't soldered shut. So when we replace this jump ring on this sterling silver chain, we'll solder that part closed. Another thing that happens is chains break. I'm sure everyone has broken a chain before. Now sometimes fixing a chain can be more costly than the chain if it's sterling silver, but when it's gold, with the price of gold being so high, it's generally worth having it fixed. Now, a chain that has an oval style link like this is more likely to break, and once it starts breaking, it's probably going to continue breaking. So sometimes there's a point where you have to decide how many repairs have I done on this piece, and is it time to maybe melt it down and recycle the gold into something new, or can I still get a little bit more life out of it if I do a few more repairs? The reason that the oval links are more likely to wear down faster is because the chain is always rubbing in the same two spots at the top and bottom of each link. Whereas if a link is round, it's going to move and it's going to get more even wear over time. So we do find that things that have an oval or squarish link are going to start breaking sooner than round links. Now this was a little bit of a repair and a refurbishment. So for this customer, the chain that it was on, the chain that she had was too long, so we cut out a section and refinished the back properly. But then she also wanted to add the sweet double heart pendant that used to have an attachment on either side. So those were taken off, new jump rings were soldered on so that this would slide and be a really delicate and sweet piece that she could gift to one of her children later. Now this is another common repair that we do. This chain is very fine. So this is in the fineness of chain where we say, if you buy it, be aware it's probably going to break. We will fix chains like this, but we will have you sign a waiver that we're not responsible for future breakage because it's made to break and then be replaced. unfortunately. It's not the kind of chain that we would try to sell to customers, but we can fix it. So this customer wanted a jump ring added in so that she could wear it at this length and at this length. Now here we have a really interesting repair and refurbishment, I would call it. This used to be one necklace. It was a little bit different. It had a rivet through here and it swung open and closed, but the customer was not enjoying this heart piece. Hearts go in and out of style in jewelry. So what she really wanted was to remove half, have one side smoothed out so it matched the front, and a different kind of set of jump rings put on so it would be stationary and not sliding on a chain. Another important change that we made was we changed from a spring ring, which is this very fine, very traditional clasp, but is not strong enough for most jewelry that you see it on. So we changed it to a lobster clasp. A lobster clasp is always stronger than a spring ring clasp. And a spring ring works for very light pieces, but it really never should have been on this chain with this weight of pendant. It's not a piece that was going to last. Sometimes that choice is made in the manufacturing to reduce the cost, but when you come to a place like Jewel Envy, we'll explain any tweaks or changes that we think would maintain your piece and sustain a longer lifetime for it.